Hey everyone, Rich from Rich TCG Bets here. Hope you all are having a great day. My wife is out doing some service projects with the youth in our church. My kids are now put down, probably not asleep, but in their rooms at least. And so I figured, why not make a video? And one of the things I wanted to talk about was the D23 collector box. This was I think the very first Lorcana thing I actually bought. I saw someone locally posted for sale in a Pokemon group, and I was like, that looks really cool. I love how the box looks like. And I bought one for a pretty good price. I would say I think it was 130 or 140 when the market was closer to like 180, 190. And that's kind of what got me into Lorcana and looking at a lot of these cards. And so this box definitely has a lot of sentimental value. I still do have it. It's been about a year and a half, getting closer to 2 years since I've had it. And so it's definitely something that I cherish. But I wanted to just call out how much this box is blowing up as well as the promos. And to be honest, I think this is a pretty obvious, like, no-brainer play investing wise and even like collecting wise. If you want to have some of the PSA 10s, if you want to just like have this box for your display and to kind of show off in the background of your videos or your room or whatever, wherever your Lorcana collection is stored, I think these are amazing buys. And so I want to go over just some of the numbers right now with the product itself, as well as dive into just kind of like which aspect, whether it's the box, singles, graded versions, I think you should get, like what I would do if I was wanting these. Obviously you can do whatever you want, but I think I've rambled on too much. If you're this far, like the video. For those of you that don't know about Let's Dive, it came out in August 2024. And it was like you had to be at the expo or select Disney locations in order to get one. Retail on these were $99.99. So we're just gonna say $100. And they blew up instantly. You can see right here on price charting, it started off at 0. That's when it came out. Obviously it immediately doubled in price and then continued to go to $350 just a couple months after. And then it just started to dip a little bit where no one was like, it's like everyone's like, yeah, cool, whatever. That was fun to have. Until like March right here, around this time, like for a month, it just changed by 20 cents. But in March, that's when this product was kind of re-released. It was supposed to be a one-time release, but they had a raffle. It wasn't on Ravensburger, but it was obviously through them and through some sort of raffling portal where they just said, hey, sign up. You can win one of these, buy them at retail price. And from what I understand, no one knows the exact numbers of how many they had left over or how many people won it. But this goes to show how little people were in the Lorcana space at the time, a little over a year ago. But it was like 70 to 80% of people I was seeing in Facebook groups, Reddit, and Discord won like the lottery and was able to purchase one for that $100 price. And so it doesn't really depict it too much here. If I go to TCG Player, excuse me. Anyways, if you go to TCG Player, you can see like this is where it was kind of like at its low, was like $170, $175. It even at one point dips down to like all the way to 167 at the beginning or at the end of last year. And a lot of people were pretty mad about this. It brought a lot of fear for investors and collectors of just like, hey, if I wait in line or if I pay these ridiculous prices to get this item, like, how do I know they're not going to just reprint it or re-release it? And it was kind of like a scary thing. And so a lot of people panic sold. I didn't panic sell, but I had two, and I bought one for cheap and one for 99 or $100. And so I was like, let me sell the one that I got for a little bit of a profit, and then I'll just keep the one. I wish I had both, but at the same time, I'm happy with the one I have, and it's still the original one. But what we see today is over the last 3 months, we're up 25%. Over the last 6 months, 23%. Last year, 36%. Last month, 10%. The market price for these are now $238, which is pretty wild. It's been steadily going up month over month this calendar year. And so looking at January, where it was in like the 170s, mid 170s, it's gone up $50+ since then, getting closer to $70 since that low over the last year. And it's an amazing product. Like the box itself is a really cool display. It showcases the 6 cards. You have one for each ink. You've got Mickey Mouse, Cinderella, Ursula, Bruno Madrigal, Vanellope Von Sweets, and Oswald, OG Mickey, if you know, you know. And it's a really cool set. And if you take a look at the singles, like it kind of tells a funny story. And so if you were to buy this box today, lowest sold is by someone with 100% rating, about 500 sales. I trust that. 268 before taxes. Cool. If you wanted just the singles, Bruno is the cheapest one, which is funny because I would have thought Vanellope was like, who wants Vanellope? Clearly, I'm the minority there. She's a Disney. She's not a Disney princess, but she's a fan of him. Anyways, and it's been like doing all right, I guess you could say. Like you can see that this card has been going down, but from 1750 to like 15, you know, like it's not really changing too much. But I think it's really cool with all the mice in the background. Is a pretty cool card, but you can get this for like 19, lowest listed. Vanellope Von Sweet, you can get her for about $33. It's above market price, and that's going to be a common thread we see around here where market price shows one thing, it's like $26, but the lowest listed with shipping is closer to $38, which is kind of the warning sign that I'm trying to give you that I'm seeing with this product is just like, hey, these were the prices of old. People are now realizing how great this product is, and they want more of it and more of it and more of it. Ursula is listed right now raw a little bit more. It's actually a little bit under the lowest listed, but that's just basically one price. You've got basically $45 here, and then the second lowest is 44, and then you've got your 45 with shipping. And so it's basically there. Oswald, really awesome card. I love like he's ripping the art behind it, and he's going from black and white to color. Like I think that's really cool. The artist did an amazing job with that. Tom, I can't read his last name, but good on you, Tom, for that. But the grail, the chase of this box is this Brave Little Tailor promo. And one call I want to make with all these, like these are like unintentionally kind of like one of the first epic cards, because Mickey Mouse, Brave Little Tailor, and I believe all these other ones are like regular, common, uncommons, rare, super rares, maybe legendaries too. I think the Oswald was a legendary. I could be wrong. But you have the extended art where you don't have the black borders anymore, and it extends the art, and they look amazing. I think these cards are great, but this is the one that I think you summed up all the other ones might barely be higher than this, but this is the biggest shock right here. Market price is $86. There's only, first off, you have 6 listed. It says 6 quantity, but I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyways, but the lowest listed is $125, which is pretty wild. So now that we know what the single prices are, I wanted to pull up this pop report of these cards in PSA, because you might be thinking like, wow, these are amazing cards. First off, you're right, they totally are. But you might be thinking like, oh, I might want to get a PSA 10 one of these. What do pop reports look like? And the simple answer is really good. If you were to buy this box and grade the cards, all these, and ignore the Playful Sorcerer, that's not part of it. So these 6 right here, all have a PSA 10 gem rate of 80% or higher. It's like 80 to 84% chance that they're going to get a PSA 10 when you submit them. And I know like that doesn't pick the whole picture. You can open your box and they can all be creased. And I'm not going to say it has an 80% chance of grading, but of those submitted, 80 to 84% of them receive a PSA 10. AKA the print quality on these cards in the box are very, very exceptionally good. And so I broke the data down. Sorry, it's like a boring Google sheet. I didn't have enough time to make a pretty slide like I normally do in Canva. But again, here's the price of the collector box, $268. If you take all the lowest listed prices on TCG Player near mint, you're at like $319. So you're paying a premium of $51 to get these cards individually from multiple different sellers, and to not even have the actual box that they came in. That seems totally backwards to me. If you were to get a PSA 10 version, I forgot to do this math really quick right here. This is looking at price charting. Let me just put these in dollars really quick. price charting shows like an average of like eBay last solds over a period of time. Because these cars aren't sold a lot, I wouldn't really trust these numbers, but I wanted to include them, that if you were to buy them all at just whatever they're listed, it's $559, $560. But PSA is going to take you like 3 to 4 months to get your cards back. You're going to be spending about $30 per card with fees, with shipping, with maybe insurance and everything like that, maybe even more, but let's just say $150. That this 268 plus 150 is $418. And so if we do this number minus $418, in my mind, pay the $142 extra to get PSA 10 graded versions. You can get them right away. Done deal. You don't have to go through the hassle of PSA, maybe losing your package and not coming back as a 10. The price is just skyrocketing maybe in the next month or two. And by the time you get your cars back, and half of them are 9s, half of them are 10s, and you could have bought for cheaper prices. Like I think that delta, $142, is just not that much money. Like I would 100% go for it. And this is me looking at the eBay last solds. I will say that like this isn't the perfect representation either, because like the Oswald, there were like 3 or 4 in a row that sold at 80, and then one sold like at $100 and then $599 shipping. Like maybe that's the sign, like, hey, these cards are going up. But I would say like the actual like market price is probably closer to like that $80, $90. But I don't know. Price charting says $100 too. But this last column I wanted to show was the last sold minus the price for the card. So if you were to get the card by itself, if you were by Bruno and get a PSA 10, you would get it for here. But if you do the delta of last sold in price, it's $34. And then if you do PSA, we're doing this on the fly, boys and girls, grading fees, I'm in all caps, I don't know how. Let's just say minus $30. Like you save $4.50, $7, 22, you lose $1, $13. It's really the Mickey's the only one that you're going to benefit grading yourself from. So at the end of the day, like it depends what you want. Like, do you want the box? Get the box. Do you want the singles? Still get the box. Do you want to grade it yourself? Probably get the box. Because if you are going to grade, don't buy singles online, especially TCG Player, because I think a lot of the sellers know it's not going to get a 10, which is why they're not grading. So like really, I'm guiding you, buy this box, buy this box, buy this box. But if your end goal is to have a PSA 10 version of these cards, again, let's do this minus, what did I do before? Minus 418, minus 418. I did not do that right. It's going to cost you about $277 more to have them all. And to me, like it makes a lot more sense to just like get them now. If you really want them, get them before prices go up even higher. Prices might dip, but oh well. Like these are really, really cool cards. They were very limited on when you can get them for the most part, but they're like pretty iconic promos for early Lorcana that if you're a collector or investor, like these are cards you're going to want to have, whether it's in the box or in PSA 10 versions. And so I'm not the biggest PSA 10 fan, or not PSA fan. I'm not the greatest graded card fan. Like I just have kids. I have like these little windowsills I can put them on, but the sun would damage them, or my kids would just knock them over all the time. Like I have nowhere to put these cards. And so like, that's why I like the sealed, because I'm putting them in a tote anyways. So if they're in a cardboard box, who cares? Like I'd feel bad putting these in a tote in my basement to like never see the light of day again, you know? And so if you're in a different situation than me, I would 100% get the PSA 10 versions if you have the money for it. But at the end of the day, get yourself a collector box. They're so cool. They're not too big. They're really light. And so it's not like super bulky or anything. And they're pretty easy to display because they're a lot smaller than you think. But I just want to give my 2 cents on this. I think these cards are going to absolutely start exploding. I mean, everything in Lorcana is right now, and although I'm like skeptical a little bit of it as far as like, are we growing too fast? Are we entering a bubble? I do think these cards are going to do very well in the long term, and so that's why I have the collector box, and that's why I probably will be looking into PSA 10 versions of these cards, if not just to get the Mickey for now. And if the other ones go up a little bit, I don't think they're going to like double instantly, and if so, I guess I'll just have to pay those prices one day. But got nothing else for you. Have a great weekend. I will see you all in the next video.